Привет, hello, and bonjour, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing something I've been wanting to do for a while. I saw this trend years ago, I want to say, and I'm very excited to try it. So I'm going to be doing half and half of my face with different styles of makeup. So one half of my face I'm going to be doing French style makeup, and the other half I'll be doing Russian. Now, why am I doing these two, do you ask? Well, if you don't know, I am originally Russian. So I grew up in Russia up until I was 5, then I left. Long story, but I do still speak Russian, especially with my family. Watch Russian shows, follow influencers and celebrities, etc. So I do still have a good understanding of what I think the average kind of, we'll call it glam Russian girl likes to do for makeup. And as for France, I've been living here for over a year now, so I do have some more, let's call it real world current experience with French makeup. So I'm basically going to be basing the French side of my face on what I see day to day here in France. Now, disclaimer and whatnot, of course, I don't think this is what everybody wears. This is my interpretation based on what I see day to day, whether it's online or in person for Russian and for French. So, you know, nobody get offended or whatever. This is just for fun and something I've been wanting to do for a while. So for the sake of this video, this side of my face is going to be French and this side is going to be Russian, and as I get into it, I'll explain to you why I'm doing the things I do. Okay, so I am going to start on the French side of the face. So first and foremost, I am going to prime my face with this very shiny jar. This is the Makeup Revolution Pore Perfecting Primer. Basically, I don't know if we want to call it a dupe at this point because there's so many of them, but the Pore Putty, very similar to what the e.l.f. one is. So I'm just going to do that all over my face to make sure it's nice and ready and happy for this look. Okay, so what are we going for the French side? If there's one thing I've noticed about French girls, they don't wear a lot of makeup. It is bare minimal. The brightest thing, which is what I'll do today, is gonna be the lip. The rest of the face is very natural, very simple, just a bit of mascara and, well, eyeliner 100%. They love their black kohl eyeliner. So I'm gonna do something like that. I don't wanna say I'll glam it up a little bit, but I'm not literally just gonna put on mascara and eyeliner, as I know a lot of girls do, and this is as well people I know personally and general observations from the street. That sounds a bit sketchy. But I'm gonna start with a very natural, light, not full coverage face. So if I had it, honestly, I'd be going in with a BB cream, but conveniently I ran out. So what I'm gonna use instead is the Kiko Milano Tuscan Sunshine Luminous Foundation. It's very reminiscent of the original Fenty foundation in the sense that it's very watery. And I think generally, yeah, I prefer the watery foundations because, especially since living here, I just prefer light coverage. But we're gonna do this and we're gonna mix in a little bit of the Jacka Black Glow Drops in Rose Pearl. So what this does, technically you put this on before or underneath your foundation and it just gives a bit of a glow. But because I want even less coverage than is already here, I'm just gonna mix a drop of these two together and then start buffing that into my face. And as you can I just got it everywhere. Great. As you can kind of see, just very liquidy and light, I would say. And just with my Fenty Beauty foundation brush, I'm gonna buff that out. Okay, so this is the face after just a little bit of the foundation with the glow drops. So for powder, for me, it seems like there's not very much powder at play, and if there is, it's a bit more translucent. I do really like the glow that's happening here, but I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of translucent powder indeed, and this is the Kiko Milano Invisible Touch Fixing Face Powder. So the cool thing about this is it kind of has the powder in there and the applicator here. It's a soft little spongy sponge. And it kind of picks up, you do a little shaky shake. So there's a fair normal amount here, but I'm actually going to tap off as much of it as I can because I really want a bare minimum powder on my face. Perfect. All right, next I'm going to do the brows. Here, very little work to be done. French girls have their brows very, very natural. I've really not seen any girls, unless they do microblading, have the really fierce eyebrows. I feel like that trend is going away anyways. So I'm just using my typical ColourPop brow gel in Dope Taupe and just lightly filling in my brow, focusing on the end because that's where I lose a lot of color, and brushing it out. And another thing I notice with French girls, they really tend to stick to their natural shape. Whatever they have, they work with that. So I'm really trying not to force, you know, a straighter or more curved brow. Just whatever is going on here naturally, I'm accentuating that. All right, and that's the brow done. For blush, again, I feel like it's very, very natural, barely there, if it even is there. I think most girls that I've seen don't really wear any, but I am gonna add just a little bit of color to make the face look a bit warmer, nicer, still keeping it a very natural tone. So I'm gonna use the shade Shadow of the Earth by Kiko Milano and just focus basically where the sun would naturally hit my face. And hopefully you can see if the lighting is not washing me out, but that just gave a little bit of nice warmth to my face, pulled it together, gives me a little bit more dimension without really the harsh contouring. All right, next we are going on to the eyes, the fun part, but in French makeup world. I don't think it's too fun. It's very, very simple and elegant. So what I'm going to be using is the Day to Day palette by Sibile and Makeup Revolution. This is a palette I've reviewed previously, mostly nice neutral mattes. And I'm just going to be going in with the lightest, fluffiest wash of a nude kind of brownish, beigeish color over the lid, just to give it a little bit more dimension. But honestly, most French girls that I've seen, again, do not wear eyeshadow. So this is my little pizzazz sprinkle onto the typical French look. And I'm just going into this warm shade here called Classy. It's a nice kind of almost orange tinted neutral. And so what I'm doing here, I only dipped in a really tiny bit. I focused that on the bottom half of the lid, and then everything else that's left on the brush, I'm just blending it out so much up towards the top, so you can see even compared to this eye, it's not a huge difference, but it does add a little bit more dimension. And that's basically it for eyeshadow for French. Not very much, as I said. So the most important step, I'd say, for the eye, other than mascara for a French girl, is black eyeliner. I don't think I go a single day without seeing a girl who wears makeup wearing black eyeliner. They like to use a kohl type of pencil and line the top lid, and also very often, at the very least, in the middle on the bottom lid. And some of them smudge it out, some of them don't. I'll kind of see what my eye feels like doing today, but I am going to start by doing the top lash line. And I'm trying to keep very close to my natural lash line too. And one other thing I've noticed, it bugs me personally just because I have such a strong preference for a wing. They really don't wing out their liner. It kind of basically ends where the line of the eye ends. Like maybe that's like about the extent of the eyeliner. So that's a little bit frustrating to me, but so be it. It's, you know, their makeup, not mine. And I'm just tight lining a little bit underneath so all of those little skin gaps are filled in. So now that that is done, I'm just taking a very fine point brush and smudging it out a little bit, filling in any gaps, and that's what I'm going to use to line the underline as well. And I always feel like there's a little bit of an emphasis right in the middle of the under eye, so I'm doing a little bit more pigment there. All right, and that's basically the eyeliner done. So next, of course, I'm gonna do mascara, but before I do, I'm gonna curl my lashes so I can give it the most va-va-voom, because French girls, again, in my opinion, based on what I see, do not wear false lashes. So I'm gonna keep it au naturel as well today. Okay, and that is the eye done. So basically for my French look, I have but one thing left. And a lot of girls, they wear just a natural lip, a little bit of a lip gloss, but I'm gonna go full on Parisian chic and do a nice bold red lip. And before I start, so obviously very popular in a lot of places to line your lips and overline. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just basically gonna follow my natural lip shape and fill that in. right over the line. This is so strange to see half of your face made up. Okay, and this is my French side done. It's very strange to see yourself with half a face of makeup. Fancy, not fancy. Fancy, not fancy. Vange. Ooh, okay, so I'm gonna just clean up the edge, the line, and then we will, I guess, proceed. All right, so that is done. Let us move on to the Russian side of the face. I need to do a makeup tutorial in Russian. I feel like that would be fun. So, what are we doing on the Russian side? In 2 words, full glam. I think Russian girls have been a bit notorious for doing a full face of makeup, 5-inch heels, dressed to the nines just to go and get groceries. So I'm not quite gonna go completely extreme, but I am definitely gonna do full face cover up, smoky glam eye, and we'll see about the lip. So first thing I'm gonna do, obviously I've already primed my face when we were doing the French side. We did the whole face prime. I'm going to do pretty full coverage foundation. For that, I'm taking my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Foundation. I'm in the shade F4. I'm doing 1 pump of that. And then I'm adding Kiko Milano Unexpected Paradise. Just a little splooge because it gives me a bit of warmth because I still have a bit of tan in my face. And also the consistency of these foundations, they're a lot more creamy, a little bit more thick. So definitely that'll give you a lot more coverage rather than something that's quite watery and fluid. I'm just gonna buff that out with a brush first and then with a sponge. And there go my freckles. Okay, that portion's done, so now I'm gonna go in with a powder. This does have color in it because we're going for a much fuller coverage, and I'm just gonna lightly, maybe mediumly, set my face. All right, time again for brows, so I am still gonna be using the same ColourPop brow gel, but this time we're gonna go a little bit more ham. We're definitely gonna be doing a much more defined, angular type of brow. Find a lot of strong brows in the Russian girl makeup community, so that is what we're gonna be replicating. That actually turned out super nice. I like this eyebrow. Ooh. Alrighty, Root. Next, contour, contour, contour. I'm gonna take this little eyeshadow from ColourPop Cosmetics, and for me it's the perfect color to contour my nose. We'll do a little bit under the lip as well to give the illusion of a shadow and a fuller lip. All right, next is face contour. So I'm gonna be using the Matchsticks from Fenty Beauty. I am in the, I believe, coolest shade, lightest shade, Amber. And because I already put a powder on my face, I'm just gonna be putting it on the back of my hand, warming it up, and then applying it that way with the Fenty Beauty brush. All right, so that is done. Just a nice soft contour. We brought a little bit of shadow back into my face. Okay, next, before I do blush, if I do blush, I'm just gonna go in with a bronzer. This is to kind of warm up my cheeks and also give it a bit more of that I feel like a lot of girls have. From what I've seen lately, bronzer, I think everywhere, is quite popular. And for that, I'm using the Rose La Lune powder that I got in my Birchbox, and I'm just in the shade Light. All right, next for the blush, I'm just gonna do a very light touch of a very pale nude neutral. This one in the Roxy blush palette. It's very cool toned and light, and that's basically exactly what I want. I don't want to take away too much from what's already happening on my face, so this will be a really nice little pop of color. And there you can kind of now see how the contour, bronzer, and blush all came together and just gave a really nice feel to the face. Okay, next is gonna be a pretty fun step. We're gonna do the eyes. So I just did the tiniest drop of cut crease canvas from Makeup Revolution. I often use it as an eyeshadow base, so just because I want the colors to pop and stick, I'm gonna pat that into my eyelid and give it a minute before beginning with the eyeshadows. All right, so what I want to do here is a very nice glam smoky eye, but at the same time, nothing too crazy and intense, a good wash of color and a nice kind of smoke out along the lash line. Okay, so I'm gonna be using the Day to Day palette again, and just to, I suppose, maybe even tie in a little bit with the right eye, I'm gonna be going into the shade Classy, and I'm gonna be using that to kind of start blending the crease. So usually when you see a lot of pictures of Russian girl glam, it is more of a cool toned black and gray and white smoky eye. That is ultimately what I am aiming for, but I'm just layering this underneath to bring back a little bit of warmth and make it a bit less flat in the end. Next, I'm gonna start with a nice dark cocoa shade called Americano right here. I don't want to go straight into the black because I'm afraid I don't want to ruin it, so I'm going to start with this, blend it out, and then add the black to deepen it. So as you can see, I'm blending out a little bit the dark brown that I dragged in. I really want to keep the inner third as blank as I can. So I'm just pushing that pigment back, which is causing a nice little blend transition with that same pigment doing the under eye. But only till about halfway. So I'm pretty happy with the shape of the brown. It is rough around the edges, but we're gonna be blending. So I'm taking that first original brush, going back into the shade Classy, very lightly. And with the smallest little motions, I'm gonna start blending that out as best as I can, and then I'll go in with a clean, fluffy brush and blend it out even more. Okay, so I love how that blend turned out. I don't really want to touch it too much, so I'm just taking my fluffiest, lightest blending brush and ever so slightly going over the edges. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Ooh, girl. For the remaining colors, I'm gonna be using the Dusk palette by Makeup Obsession and Rari. Oof, haven't touched it yet, but I've seen that it's very pigmented. We're going into Eclipse, not Ellipse. Eclipse, ever so slightly, and just to deepen that outer corner. Okay, and I think that added a nice little bit of depth. Okay, next I'm gonna leave the lid as is, but I'm gonna add a bit of the sparkly white angel to the brow bone and the inner corner. All right, now that the shadow portion is done, is the fun part. We're gonna do a nice, big, juicy cat eye eyeliner. For that, as always, I use my NYX Epic Ink Aligner. All right, that is done and looking very glam. So I do notice I want a little bit more brightness, but nothing too crazy. So I'm actually gonna go back in with the Jecca Black Glow Drops and do a smidge of that on my cheekbones and Cupid's bow and nose. Yeah. There, that gives a nice little extra pop of glow. Okay, so of course, next step is mascara, but I'm also gonna be doing a lash on this eye, so I'm gonna quickly do that off camera using the same mascara, and I'll be right back. All right, lashes and mascara are on. I feel like a princess. I feel like this is gonna be my new look that I'm gonna do. So, oh my god, is it glam enough? Anyways, this is, for the most part with eyes and stuff, this is the kind of style I see. So last but very much so not least, we're gonna do lip. Now I could definitely do a red lip similar to French, very popular with the Russian ladies. But what I'm gonna do is a little bit different. I'm first of all gonna overline my lips a little bit and do a nice smoky? A nice nude lip, also very popular, definitely matte. And I'm just using the ColourPop lip pencil in Oh Snap. Oh Snap! I feel like this is the makeup I need to do for my wedding. This is stunning. Stunning! All right, so we have a couple, going through my liquid lippies. We have a couple of options. What do I think? I might mix a few things together. So I do love, this one is the Powder Kiss from MAC in Sultriness. but I think I want to add a bit more something or other to it because it's a bit too pink. So I'm actually going to go in with the Huda Beauty Liquid Matte in Girlfriend. It's a very kind of nude, terracotta, warm. How many adjectives do I want to put in? But it's that kind of color, you'll see. And I don't know, we'll see. All right, so that is going to dry down and I will be right back with the final look. And here is the final look. What a difference between the two. Oh my goodness. May I just quickly say, I think I've said it already, I am obsessed with the Russian style. I mean, I feel like I could have pushed the glam portion even more, but as you know, we're all going back to a bit more natural makeup. I didn't want to go too cray, but I love it. 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 French side too. You know, it's just not for me. The red lip, of course, I'd wear 100p, but the black kohl eyeliner and especially not extending it out to make it cat eye, that is not up my alley, but it's cute. I definitely love the dewy, more flushed, natural face. I've kind of generally started to do that a lot more since moving here, and really if I'm doing a nice makeup, then I'll do more of a full face. But as you can see very clearly with my Chanel book, just, you know, bold lip, but a lot of them do neutral lips too, so you can take that away. These two are very interchangeable. But just nice, simple, nothing too intense, takes a lot less time than the Russian side. And then we go on over here. You know, I know as well, I just said it, we're going back to trend-wise something more neutral, but still I feel like this is super nice. It's not too intense and crazy. It's kind of, you know when they say no makeup, but this is a makeup, no makeup. That doesn't make sense. I just mean like it took a little bit while longer, but it doesn't look as crazy and intense and overbearing as sometimes glam makeup can look. And oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So different. It's like two different me's. Bonjour, je m'appelle Oksana et j'ai fait ça pour aujourd'hui. D'accord? Oui, c'est bon pour moi. Just a bunch of gibberish in French, why not? Let's do the same on Russian. Привет, меня зовут Оксана. Я сегодня сделала такой макияж, мне очень приятно, мне очень нравится. Я пойду в магазин покупать еду. Anyways, that is the looks. Those are the looks. I'm very excited. I think this was so fun. I definitely am considering maybe doing some other ones, but these are kind of the two countries that are, you know, closest to me in some senses. Obviously, I lived in Ireland and Canada as well, but I think these two have much more distinguished looks when it comes to makeup. So that's why I chose them. And it turned out so fun. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let me know, which side do you prefer? Do you like both? Would you wear either of them? I mean, clear winner for me is the Russian side. I need to try some more Russian makeup looks because this is just, it stole my heart, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, but oh my goodness, how fun. So thank you once again so much for watching. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button, s'il vous plaît. Пожалуйста. Really appreciate it, and I have more Russian fun themed videos coming up. So definitely stay tuned for those. Hit that like button and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!